Good evening. It's not morning. I've been busy all day. Today is Thursday, December 13th. No, December 12th. December 12th. You know, I'm getting my days all mixed up. The closer it gets to Christmas. Wait a minute, 12th, 19th. Yep, the 12th. I had to think for a minute. But today is Thursday, December 12th, and we do have two birthdays. Today is, I'm going to screw up your name. I apologize in advance. Katrina Cannizzaro. Catanzaro. Catanzaro. Cannizzaro. Well, Katrina, you get a song, even though I'm messing up your name. I so apologize. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katrina. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's a great day, even though I don't have the right day of the week. It's a great day for her birthday. It's also Pat Out's birthday, and I have in my calendar she's 73. She's a spring chicken. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pat. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Oh, I had a long day. I had a really long day. I woke up about 9:15, and I was laying in bed, and I didn't want to get up and get in the shower because I didn't want to wake Jim up, so I just laid in the bed, and I played games on my phone, and I balanced my checkbook, and I read news feeds on the phone, and then finally I looked at the clock, and it was 10 to 11. I was like, I laid in bed for an hour and a half, waiting for Jim to wake up, and he wasn't waking up. And I knew he was alive because he was snoring. So then I thought, I got to get up and take a shower. And so then I got up, and he goes, well, why are you waking me up? And I go, because it's almost afternoon, you silly fool. So he got up. And then we went, I did eat breakfast before I went because I had every intention of being good today. So before we left, I had a slice of toast with a teaspoon of peanut butter on it, with a hard-boiled egg and a banana and some diet cranberry juice. And then we went to a couple of stores, and then I have to tell you, I was attacked. I was attacked, let me tell you, attacked by the Starbucks that was in the store we were at. Because when I made my purchase, they gave me a coupon for a free cookie. So I got a free cookie, and it was a big cookie. It was so big. It was so big. And so then I got a large mango dragon fruit lemonade drink, which I looked up the points. No, I didn't look up the points. I was going to look up the points, but I knew it was going to be humongous, so I didn't do that. And Jim got a cookie, and then he drank some of my lemonade, but not a lot, but some of it. And then we finished shopping. We went to a couple more places, and then Jim bought a couple gifts. Then we came home, and I had a cheese stick, and what else did I have? I had I pre-portioned some pretzels out, so I had 3 points for some pretzels. So I had a cheese stick, some pretzels, and I finished my lemonade. And then I was attacked again by dinner because I had pizza. I had 2 slices of pizza. And then, I don't know, it's not like, it's called Jet's bread. I don't know if Jet's pizza is like all around, but around here it's Jet's bread. And it's like I guess it's like a breadstick, but it's like a thicker breadstick, and it had pepperoni in it and cheese. It was fattening, and I had 2 cans of pop. Why I sabotaged myself like this, I just don't know. I really don't know, but I have to tell you, I enjoyed it, which is not good. So, needless to say, I'm really looking forward to the first of the year because I'm not going to wait until then to get back on track because this is only the 12th. I still have 19 days left of December, and I'm not going to by any means sabotage myself with that. But when we got home, I wrapped gifts. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can't see them. You can't see them. I got gifts wrapped. I got them. I gotta go hide them. So I got all my gifts wrapped of everybody I bought for so far. I just have just a few more gifts to get, but I know what I'm getting, so that's half the battle, is knowing what you're going to get. And that's about it. So I'll share a story with you first, and then I'm going to share Sophia's story, and then I'll come back and tell you my take on Sophia's story, which is Christmas related. My story is not really Christmas related, although it did happen in the winter time. And to my subscribers that have been with me a long time, I apologize. You've heard this story before, but I'm going to tell you again. But the one house that Jim and I had rented, we had rented from the church, and we shared the driveway with the rectory and the nuns, the rectory and the convent. So it was like a regular driveway that went to the back, and then the back of my house, because I didn't really have a backyard. Because my house used to be the rectory, and then they built a rectory, and so then they rented the house out. So I was very involved in the church at the time, and I had known that they were going to be renting the house out, and we were just living in an upper flat, and I really wanted to get into a house, and it was only 2 blocks from my parents' house where I grew up, and so I really wanted to get there. And since I was so involved in the church and it was right next to the church, I thought it was the perfect fit for me. And I did get the house. It was to rent, not to buy, just to rent. But the way the house was, like I said, there was no backyard, and there was 3 garages in the back, and 2 of the garages were for the priests and 1 was for the nuns, because the nuns all shared 1 car. And so anyway, but right in front of my house, they put like a little patch that you could drive the car and park it right up to the front porch. So you didn't have to park in the street. You didn't really have a driveway, so to speak, but you did. It's just like a little patch that they put in front of the house. So anyway, you could open the front door, go down the 2 steps, and you're right there at your car. It was that close. I was back then I was getting the paper. I got the Detroit Free Press in the morning, and then I got the Detroit News at night. I've always been a voracious reader. I've always liked reading, and I always like to keep informed of what's going on in the world. So I do a lot of reading. Like I told you earlier, I go on the web and all that. So anyway, it was early in the morning, and I opened up the door, and there was somebody in my car. And since it was so close to the porch, when the paper was delivered, a lot of times the guy would drive the car up to the house and then just throw the paper out through the window, the car window onto the porch, and then he'd back up. And for some reason I was thinking that this was the paper guy. And so as he's pulling away, I'm waving at him, and he waves back, bye, whatever. So he waves back and he drives away. And as I'm closing the door, I'm thinking, wait a minute, that was my car. The guy was stealing my car, and I was waving goodbye to him. So he stole my car. But a little backup on the story for this particular car, we had only had this car maybe 4 months, if that. And we had had it 2 months, and Jim was working in a secured parking lot downtown Detroit, and he came out of work one day, and the car was gone. And what they had done is they stole the car, and Jim always left the parking ticket, like when you pay for the thing, up in the visor. So whoever it was that took the car paid the fine to get out of the parking lot and took off with my car. They did find the car completely stripped, and so then they fixed the car. So then we got the car back, and then like 2 months later, the guy's driving away with my car, and I'm waving goodbye, 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 and they found the car again, completely stripped. But they said, since the car was only 3 or 4 months old, they were going to fix it again. So they fixed the car again. So the bump shop called me and said, your car's ready, you can come and get it. And I says, oh, great, I'll be right over. And so I called my mother, who lived 2 blocks over. My mother was there within 5 minutes. And we drove to the bump shop, which was on the notorious 8 Mile Road. I'm sure you've heard of that, Eminems, famous thing. It was up by 8 Mile Road. And I walked in to sign the paperwork with the guy that was in the bump shop. And he says, well, your car is parked out on 8 Mile Road. And I said, well, I didn't see it out there. He says, yeah, the keys are in the visor. It's right outside. So I go outside. My car's nowhere to be found. So I come back in, and I go, my car's not out there. It's gone. And he says, no, it's right out in front. It's right out in front. And I go, well, can you come out and show me? He said, well, yeah, like, stupid woman, that's right out in front. How can you not see your car? And we get outside, and he says, it's right. Oh, my gosh, your car's been stolen. I go, you think? It's gone. It's not here. So we called the police, made a police report, and they found the car again. Like a week or so later, completely stripped. And so the insurance company said, you know what, we're not going to fix it a 3rd time. We're just going to settle on giving you some money. Go buy another car. Obviously somebody wants to steal this car. And it really wasn't that great of a car. It was a Monte Carlo, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. I mean, it was buckskin and it had a black vinyl top. It was a sharp car. It really was. But so I said, okay, fine. So I don't remember exactly how much we owed, but I remember that it was brand new. We only put a little bit of a down payment on because even back then, I told you, Jim and I were never good with money. We put the least amount of money down that we could. So I'm going to just say the car was valued at, they offered me $10,000. Well, we owed 11. Like, I'm just giving you a rough estimate. Like, that was, we owed like $1,000 more than what they offered us. So I told the guy, I said, well, no, I owe $11,000 for the car. I want $11,000 for the car. And he said, lady, we've already fixed the car 3 times. We're not going to fix it again. We're going to give you $10,000. That's all you're going to get. I said, well, that's just not acceptable. You come back to me when you have a better offer, because I'm not accepting that. I'm going to fight this. And so he said, well, you're not going to get any more. And I go, well, I'm not going to settle for that. So he waited a couple days, and then he called me back. And because we had a second car. We had bought the nun's old car. Because the nun's got a new car, and we bought the nun's old car, which Jim was using for work. And so I said, no, you know what, we have another car. We're using that car. We're going to wait for $11,000. He said, well, the most they'll give you is $10,500. And I go, well, that's just not acceptable. I'm not going to accept that. So he says, well, you know, you can wait all you want, but that's all you're going to get. And I go, that's fine with me, because I'm not going to accept it. So he says, well, you know, I'll call you back in a few days and see if you change your mind. And I go, I'm not going to change my mind. And so then they called me about a week later, and they said, well, we're going to go for $10,750. So you can just come up with the other $250 yourself. And I go, it's $11,000 or nothing. I'm not accepting anything less than $11,000. That's what I owe. You can make the check payable to the loan company. You don't have to give it to me. Just pay it right to the loan company. I'm not accepting. He says, well, you know, this is the best offer. I go, I'm waiting. So, like, he calls me a week later, and he says, we're not going any higher. That's as high as we're going to go, $10,750. Do you accept the offer? And I go, well, I guess since you're not going to go any higher, yeah, I will accept the offer. So he says, okay, then we'll make a check payable to the insurance company with you know, with your name on it. You'll have to co-sign it over to the loan company. And I go, okay, well, so then like, I had a 4-year loan, I think. I had a 3-year loan. It was a 3-year loan. I said, so in 32 months, where do I mail my last payment, my last 2 payments? And he says, well, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I'm going to sign the check over to the loan company, and then I'm just going to wait till the last 2 or 3 payments are due in 3 years, and I'll make my payments then. And then where do I mail the title to you then? And he says, well, the car does me no good without the title. And I says, and your $10,750 does me no good either if you're not going to pay the car off. I said, because I can wait. I have another car. And I know that legally I have a 3-year loan on this car, and I don't have to pay it off for 3 years. As long as I pay initial amount that you give me down and not keep it for myself, I'm just going to owe the loan company the rest of that money. Let me get back with you. An hour later, he called me back. He said, fine, we'll settle for the $11,000. I says, okay, thank you. So I didn't have to pay not 1 penny. So persistence. That's what I'm going to have in the new year. Persistence. Because if you're persistent, you can get whatever you want. You can accomplish anything you want. But anyway, not a Christmas story, but a winter story, because it did happen in the winter. And I have no idea why that car was so popular, but that one car was stolen 3 times. So I have no idea. I think that the fact that it was stolen from the bump shop, I think it was an inside job, because they knew it was all new parts, and they knew that they were going to park it out on 8 Mile, which is a main street in Michigan, in Detroit area. That's a main thoroughfare. It's not like a little side street. It's a main street. So I think it was a fixed job. But the other 2, I don't know. The funniest I thought was me waving to the guy stealing my car. But anyway, here's a Christmas memory from Sophia. Your favorite Christmas memory? You haven't had that many, so you can come up with some in a couple of years.
Remy wants in.
Take a picture of making gingerbread houses with Grandma.
Yeah.
That always fall apart.
They always fall apart.
Even with glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you come around?
Okay, like I told you, the only tradition that I had when I was growing up was stringing the popcorn for the tree. And then my one grandmother lived in Boston, and so we never saw her hardly ever. I think I've seen her when I was little, maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. And I told you she always sent us gifts that never fit, but you know, she sent us a gift. That was the main thing. But I wanted to start a tradition with my grandkids, and so every year at Christmas time, we decorate cookies and we decorate gingerbread houses. So the first year when we were doing the gingerbread houses, we just got the kits out and tried to put them together with the kids, and obviously they were falling apart because they weren't sticking together. So I said next year we're going to get the houses ahead of time. I'm going to put the houses together first. So Denise and Jim and I stayed up one night and we made all the houses, put all the houses together, stuck them together, put them on their little cookie sheets so that everybody would have their own sheet with their little candies and stuff like that. And the kids started decorating them and the walls started collapsing in. So I thought, there's got to be a better way. There's just got to be a better way. So then the next year, I glued them because we weren't going to eat the cookie. We weren't going to eat the house anyhow. So I glued all the sides together with hot glue. And that didn't work either. So this year, no cookie house, no gingerbread houses. We decided this year, no gingerbread houses. But we're still going to do we do gingerbread cookies. So we'll still figure out a way to do the cookies. But no houses. I can't master the house. And then you see these beautiful gingerbread houses on the internet, on YouTube, on TV, in the stores. No. That's never going to happen at Grandma's house. So they have a memory when they're building a gingerbread house at Grandma's house. Even though they have the memory of building it, they also have the memory of it going as they're trying to hold it together, slap some extra frosting on there to hold it together. I even tried buying the frosting like to frost it itself, and it just never worked. But it was the memory, I think, that counted the most. So tomorrow's going to be a whole new, better day. It really is. I don't have any plans for going anywhere because what do I? Wait a minute. I got to go to the post office because I got to mail some stuff and check my mailbox. And other than that, I don't have any plans other than laundry, clean the house, finish wrapping up. No, I think I got all my gifts wrapped. No, I got maybe 2 gifts, a couple gifts. Jim's gifts I haven't wrapped yet because I was afraid he'd walk into the room and see it. But other than that, that's it. Not a totally successful day, but not a day that I have any guilt about. I had fun. I enjoyed my cookies. I enjoyed my pizza. I won't enjoy the scale on Saturday, but it's part of my journey. It's part of life. It's the way it goes. I'll get better. I will. I know. I have to get better. I can't get any worse. If I get any worse, I'll get back to my 300 pounds, and that is never going to happen. So, okay, that's going to be it for tonight. I'm sorry the video is so late. Look what time it is. It's late. It's very late. But, you know, when you don't get up until 11 o'clock in the morning, the day tends to get away from you. So give this video a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share.